Well, good afternoon everyone and welcome to the latest edition of Rebels Radio as we're here in sunny Essex, home for Chelmsford City at Melbourne Park. 3 o'clock kickoff this afternoon in this Vanarama National League South fixture. We have all the commentary action for you. We'll give you all the... Right, good afternoon everyone. I don't know what's going on here today, but we're having a few technical issues, so it looks like the computer decided it's going to shut itself down as usual. That's great. It's always what we need on a match day. I don't think I've had a Saturday so far this season. I haven't had a problem with. So hopefully we are coming through to you loud and clear, and our apologies for just coming off air there. And just going to see if you can all hear me today. Just check. If you would like to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, you can do so in two ways. We are available on Twitter. It's at MyFC Rebels Radio, or if you're, that's all one word, all in lowercase, or if you're listening via the YouTube, then you can come through to us here. Just waiting for some... Yeah, you can all hear me. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon to Graham. We've got Neil Humphrey who's listening in. And listening from Nassau in the Bahamas. Why are you lot going on holiday and I'm not? Paul Hazel's in Poole in England. So there you go. Thank you very much all for listening. So if you do want to get in contact us on the comment page as you're listening to YouTube. You do need to be a subscriber to YouTube. And it will come through to us here this afternoon. I'm just going to double check, make sure that everything seems to be okay, and then I will run through all of the stuff for you this afternoon. Brilliant, thank you all for getting in contact. Right, okay, so now we're back on air, hopefully for the rest of the game. Run through a couple of things for you. Up and coming fixtures for the Rebels next Saturday, that's the 8th of September. Slough will be at home to Oxford City by a 3 o'clock kickoff. Then the following Saturday, Slough will be away to Eastbourne Borough for a seaside trip. Out for everyone. That's the 15th of September. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff. And then the following Saturday will be the FA Cup. First time that we'll enter that this season. That's the 22nd of September, that game. And obviously the draw will not be until Monday the 10th. So the next round of games will be on the 8th. Monday the 10th is when we will find out whether we're home or away and who our opposition is. Just something else for you. On Thursday the 13th of September at Arbour Park there will be a quiz night. First time that Slough have done their quiz at the new ground. You'll need to get there for 7:30. The quiz will start at 8 o'clock. Teams can be up to 6 members and it will be £5 a member, and I'm sure there'll be some prize money, be some food, and the bar will be open as usual, so feel free to come down and join us there that afternoon. I'll run through the two sides for you, just give the other games in our league this afternoon as well. So we have Chippenham Town versus Concord Rangers. It's Dulwich Hamlet versus Hampton and Richmond Borough. East Thurrock United versus Bath City. Hungerford Town versus Gloucester City. St Albans City versus Dartford. It's Torquay United versus Hemel Hempstead. Wealdstone versus Truro. Welling United versus Oxford City. Weston-super-Mare versus Eastbourne Borough. And the top of the table clash of the day sees first versus second, and it's Woking at home to Billericay Town. There you go. So I'll run through the two sides for you. I can tell you that starting at number 11 this afternoon is Warren Harris, and congratulations to Warren for his 200th appearance for the Rebels this afternoon. So the two sets of teams are just coming out. Slough will be in their away kit of all blue, and Chelmsford City are in their home kit, which is the claret colour, which is why they nicknamed the Clarets, and their claret shirts, claret shorts and claret socks. So I'll run through the sides with you for the first time this afternoon, starting with the home side. And in goal for them is Nathan McDonald. Now the rest of these are squad numbers, so just I won't know who they play or where they play. But number 2 is Jazzy Barnum Bob. 3 is Elliot Omasuzi. 4 Max Porter. 5 Robert Swain. 6 is the captain Anthony Church. 10 is Jai Reason, 11 is Tom Raitt, 13 Joe Anderson, 18 is Chris Whelpdale, and 19 is Reese Murphy. Substitutes for Chelmsford this afternoon are number 5 Michael Spillane, 7 Jonathan Giles, 9 Scott Fenwick, 14 Taylor Miles, and 15 is Sean Batt. For the Rebels this afternoon, Jack Turner is in goal, 2 is Josh Jackman, 3 George Wells, 4 Sam Togwell, 5 is Mark Nisbet, 6 Lee Togwell, 7 James Dobson, 8 Scott Davis returning to his club from last season, 9 Ben Harris, 10 is his debut for the Rebels on loan from Peterborough United is Matty Stevens, and 11 is Warren Harris with his 200th appearance for the Rebels. And just think how many more he would have made if he hadn't had that serious ACL injury. Substitutes for the Rebels this afternoon are 12 Guy Hollis, 14 Sean Fraser, 15 Simon Dunn, 16 Chris Flood, and 18 Perry Cole. Your referee today is Jason Richardson from Ruislip, and his assistants are Steve Parmenter and Craig Barnett. I can just tell you that our commentary position here at Chelmsford have been very hospitable with their welcome this afternoon. Unfortunately, our position is here right by the corner flag. So when the ball goes down the far end of the pitch, it's going to be very difficult for me to try and find some players. But I will do my best to get the names right for you this afternoon. But just obviously bear with me if I do make a few mistakes. It's not the best position, unfortunately. Good afternoon to Mike O'Loughlin, who's listening to lose. And hopefully that is not what Slough will do today. And I can just tell you that while Slough have played, this isn't good news, Slough have played Chelmsford on 7 previous occasions. 6 of those have been in the league. Slough have won 0 and drawn 0. They've actually lost all 6 games that they've played against Chelmsford City in the league, and in fact Slough have never scored against Chelmsford City in the league, and in fact their only victory was in the year that Slough had that great cup run where they ended up playing Walsall. We played here in the FA Trophy where we had a good cup run, winner from Michael Murphy. That was the only time that Slough ever scored or beaten Chelmsford City. So and we don't seem to travel well to Essex either as well, so let's hope that the Rebels can change it around. It looks as though Slough will be shooting this first half from right to left. And it looks as though Chelmsford City will have the kick-off this afternoon. And it will be Chelmsford City with the kick-off, and Slough are going to be shooting from right to left. Jack Turner in his all-blue goalkeeping kit this afternoon. And Slough with 4 changes to their side. Just waiting for the referee to get today's game underway. And the referee just taking his time. He's going to get there sooner or later. Come on now, ref, get on with this. And here you go, it's kick off here. And let's see what's going on here. So the ball's played down here for Dobson to chase, but it runs through to McDonald in the Chelmsford goal. And it's going to be McDonald dressed in a fluorescent kind of greeny colour. It's very much similar to the stewards here. Takes a long kick down the field, looking on the far hand side. Jackman trying to get there. The ball's been flicked on here, but it's cleared by Sam Togwell for so it clears out of play. There is a running track around the pitch, so the ball just runs across down that running track. And it will be a throw for Chelmsford City on the far hand side to be taken by Anderson. And his throw comes in quickly, gets the ball back in here. Play to Whelpdale, ball over the top. Togwell gets a header, not the best of header here, but his second clearance is even higher in the air. No distance on it. It's controlled well there on the edge by Reason. Ball run back though here by Scott Davis against his former club, and he plays it off Anderson. It's out of play for a throw to the Rebels here, halfway inside their own half. Josh Jackman playing right back here for the Rebels. And he's just waiting for a rounder ball to come on here. And it's Jackman to take this throw for the Rebels. Takes it here, looking for the head of, I think that's Ben Harris. Played in towards Dobson, now on the attack. Ball here to Matty Stevens on his debut. Tries to get into the penny area, just turns, it's hooked in the end. Cleared by Swain, but only as far as Nisbet. Nisbet's first time ball finds Wells on this left-hand side. He's immediately closed down by a couple of players, plays the ball and loses the ball. And so Chelmsford can attack down this near-hand side, but there's an offside here against Murphy, and it'll be a free kick here to the Rebels. And it's a free kick on this left-hand side for Slough. And Jim Robertson's listening in Plymouth, so we'll have this free kick here, taken by Jack Turner. Takes this one here, looking for Ben Harris. Ben Harris tries to get there, ball's headed away. It comes out here towards Scott Davis, under pressure deep inside is the Chelmsford half. Wells skips past the challenge to Davis, flicking the ball forwards here. Oh, poor clearance there, but it breaks here to Barnum Bob, and he has time to clear down the line, but that will go straight out of play for a throw here to the Rebels. And Nisbet will leave this for George Wells to take. Takes it quickly here towards Dobson. Back in towards Wells. Wells with the ball forwards here, trying to break it through. Finds Stevens. Stevens in his orange boots. Leaves it for Dobson to come down. Taken by Barnum Bob. And Bob can bring the ball here over the top here. Looking for the run of Reese. And Just Stratman comes back. But Murphy gets in there. And it goes round the goalkeeper. But Slough get numbers behind. And Murphy shoots from distance. But it's just over the top of the bar. And he's just been forced wide by Slough, but Slough with that ball over the top, just getting the better of the Slough defence. And I think that Slough missing Guy Hollis today could be their downfall here. They had to get back with Josh Jackman in position, but it's early days here at the moment. But this goal kick taken here by Turner, flicked on well here by Ben Harris for Warren Harris to chase. Harris can't keep the ball in, and it's out of play for a throw on the far hand side for the Clarets here. It'll be taken by Anderson, who looks like he's wearing 13 but will be the left back for this afternoon. And Anderson to take this throw in. It's flicked on there by Whelpdale, and Murphy tries to get there. Slough looking for a foul, but it's over the head here, and Sam Togwell in a race with Murphy. Murphy beats him to it, but it's all the way down the line, and Jack Turner comes out for Slough to clear the ball long and down the field, but it goes eventually out of play, and that'll be a throw to the home side on the halfway line. So Slough just under a bit of pressure here at the moment with this ball over the top. Murphy's the leading goal scorer for Chelmsford at the moment with 4 goals. Ball played in towards Reason. It comes off Jackman last, and it'll be a throw a little bit further down the field, taken quickly in towards Whelpdale, closed down by Stevens. And in the end here towards Swain. Swain can play the ball in, flick back in towards Swain, and just on the halfway line finds Barnum Bob. And he's back here towards Swain. Ben Harris putting some pressure on. That goes all the way back to the goalkeeper McDonald, who stands on the edge of his penalty area. And looking to play the ball down the field. Looking for that ball over the top. And again, this one's gone all the way through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. But again, it's that ball over the top that Slough got to be careful about, and I've got a funny feeling that Nisbet and Sam Tockwell are going to do a lot of running back this afternoon. The Slough fans are in good numbers there behind the goal. Turner takes this kick here, looking for Dobson. Dobson flicks the ball on well. Ben Harris is shielding his eyes from the sun. Breaks here towards Scott Davis, trying to find the run of George Wells down the left-hand side, but it's overhidden. It'll be out for a throw to Chelmsford City, which the right back Barnum Bob will take. And Slough just trying to pin them back into their own half. And the ball played in. It's flicked on there by Rate. Comes back in and it's headed away by Rate and flicked on again. And it breaks here to Murphy, who just again ships that ball over the top. And Josh Jackman up here against Whelpdale. Jackman gets there first and just hooks the ball clear. And Slough immediately under a lot of pressure with this ball over the top, which they're not expecting. Long ball here, looking for the run of Reason, but again Jackman clears across, and it's a throw to Chelmsford City around about 15 yards inside the Slough half. 0-0 here at the moment, and the throw will come in from Anderson on that left hand side. Finds Whelpdale. Whelpdale who's played the ball in here towards Porter. Porter can turn under pressure from Ben Harris. Finds Barnum Bob, who's 5 yards inside his own half, and picks out Swain. Swain back across here towards Omasuzi. Omasuzi fouled by Ben Harris, and that'll be a free kick to the home side. It's about 5 yards inside the Chelmsford half, and it will be Anderson to take this free kick for Chelmsford. Murphy currently standing in a offside position. Slough just keeping quite a high line here, about 10 yards outside. Poor free kick is taken by Nisbet. Not the best of controls, but it breaks here towards Stevens. He finds Ben Harris on the halfway line. Harris chips the ball over Anderson and picks the ball up on the right side. Keeps the ball in play and then looks for a cross into the box here for Slough. It's a little bit behind Dobson. Dobson has to work to keep the ball in, but does well to keep it in. And crosses the ball back in first time. It's going to be Warren Harris with a little header on. Stevens trying to get there, and he's adjudged to have fouled there. It's a foul for a high foot, but in theory it's a low head, but either way it's a free kick to the home side. Paul and Claire are listening in from Farnham Royal. Alex is listening from Tenerife, and it's a free kick here for the home side. Again looking for Whelpdale. Jackman there to win the header. Davis flicks the header on, then it's cleared in the end and looking for Murphy. Well run back by Jackman, who's adjudged to have been fouled, and that'll be a free kick to the Rebels. And they've taken it quickly, but it's Omasusi that controls the ball back into his goal kick. Or a poor kick out by him, but it finds Porter, and he can find the Captain Swain. Played out here towards Barnum Bob, the right back. Slough trying to just pressurise him. Slough fans making some noise behind that goal this afternoon, which is good to see. And it's balls here with McDonald, the goalkeeper, finds Porter. Porter's got a bit of time now to turn and chip the ball over the back of the defence. Turner comes out first to the ball for Slough and then rolls it into the path of George. Well, it's going to be closed down and plays it off the captain Church. It's out of play for a throw to Slough. Quickly taken in towards Lee Togwell. First time that Lee's had the ball. Plays it back here towards Jack Turner. Turner takes a touch to control. Murphy closes it down, but ball played down the field. And Swain gets a touch to it, only as far as Dobson. Dobson now plays it in, or just a bit behind Ben Harris, who's got that Keith Lemon back. Oh, Ben Harris chases the ball down. He's got Keith Lemon bandage on. If you've ever seen Celebrity Juice, you will know what I mean. If you haven't, he's basically got a bandage on his right hand. So Bonbon will take this throw for Chelmsford City. And it's a throw in here. It's gone over the head of everyone. Comes towards Wells. Tocqueville trying to ease the ball and wins a free kick there for a foul. And it's a free kick to the Rebels. They're going to let Mark Nisbet or George Wells are going to take this free kick for Slough. It's 5 yards inside the Slough Town half. There's a parrot of some kind over on the far side. It's like a giant man in a parrot suit. Wells to take this free kick for Slough. It's got a bit of a whip on it to the far hand side. Ben Harris wins his header into the box. Barnum Bob with the header away. Lee Togwell wins it and finds Dobson. Dobson flicks the ball into the box. Acrobatic clearance, but it comes to Matt Stevens on the edge of the box. Now looking for a free kick, but it's Chelmsford who can break. Oh, Murphy slips at the wrong opportunity there, and the ball's here with Sam Togwell. Plays it across here to Nisbet. They'll leave it for Davis to turn and pick the ball up. 10 yards inside his own half. Trying to play the ball in between, but Slough didn't run for the ball, and it's taken easy by Anderson to Omazusi on the far hand side. Back in towards Anderson. Anderson has time to chip that ball over the top, looking for Murphy. Murphy up against Sam Togwell. And Murphy holds the ball up really well, turns and can chip the ball in. Oh, there's a break into the box here, and it's gone around the goalkeeper, and it's just gone too far, and in the end it was Reason in the end who went past Turner. His control wasn't good enough, he just got to the byline, couldn't keep the ball in, and that's a let off for the Rebels there this afternoon. And again, it's the same thing every time Chelmsford have got the ball. What they're doing is they're playing it over the top of the Slough back four, and Nisbet and Sam Togwell are being caught out by that ball over the top. They don't have the pace to deal with it. And I think Slough will miss Guy Hollis, who's on the bench this afternoon. Turner takes this goal kick. It's trying to find Dobson. It's going to be flicked on. Matt Stevens will try and chase to keep this ball in, but it has gone out of play. And out of play for a goal kick. And it's 0-0 here at the moment. We'll see if we can keep you up to date with some of the scores from around the other games. Ball taken quickly by McDonald, and Davis gets in there first, finds Dobson. Dobson stolen the ball off him, but Davis tries to, when it comes off a Chelmsford City player, and it's out for a throw to the Rebels. And Wells with the throw in, a big pillar in my way. Ball played in towards Davis, closed down by Reason, and the referee says it's a foul there by Church. And it's a free kick to Slough, just inside their own half. And it'll be George Wells to take this free kick. Wells in towards Stevens. Stevens holds the ball up on the edge of the box, looks for some help, comes from Dobson. Dobson chips the ball in, but that's too close to the goalkeeper, and that's an easy save. Only goal so far in the league is Woking 0, Billericay 1. That's all there is after 11 minutes. That's your latest score. Everything else is 0-0. McDonald has the ball in his hands here for Chelmsford City. And a long ball here looking for Rate. Rate wins the header on, and it's hit by Nisbet, hits Murphy in the face and goes out of play for a throw to Slough. And it'll be in this far side where our commentary position is. George Wells to take this throw for Slough. He'll go back towards his goalkeeper Turner, and Turner just controls the ball here inside his penalty. Murphy tries to come and close it down. Turner takes the ball, looking for Warren Harris on the far hand side, headed away by Anderson, picked up by Lee Togwell. His ball in, plays down line for Ben Harris. Ben Harris has a chance to turn and try and find Warren Harris down the outside. Anderson comes across there, and Anderson keeps the ball in, and that's actually really good defending by the left back there. Plays it off Warren Harris for a goal kick to the home side. And it's we've played 12.5 minutes here, 0-0 at the moment between the two sides. Like I say, if you do want to get in contact with us, please feel free to on Twitter at MyFC Rebels Radio. Woking have just been awarded a penalty, I've seen. Also on the comment section of the YouTube page that you're listening on. And Michael McGranahan is listening from Slough. Good to see someone from Slough listening. Ball headed away by Nisbet, hits the back of Whelpdale. It's cleared on there by Church in towards Murphy. Murphy's actually onside here, and Togwell tries to get a block in, and he does in the end, and Togwell doesn't stop it. That went out for a corner. Oh, linesman, you are blind. That was clearly a corner to Chelmsford. Linesman doesn't see it. It's now under pressure again here. Ball played in. Warren Harris with the clearance away, and Slough again under severe pressure here this afternoon. They're not dealing with it too well. Again, the ball over the top. Murphy tries to get in, but it's cleared in the end by Slough, and a throw coming from Anderson on that far hand side. Whelpdale makes himself available, and in the end it's towards Murphy. Murphy just gets a little push from Togwell, but the referee says nothing of it. Ball played in here towards Church, chipped over, and this time he is miles offside, and he still misses the goal, but it's offside here. And again, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it was a ball over the top. The back line of Slough are playing a very dangerous game of football here at the moment, and Chelmsford have got in a few times behind, and it's Turner with this free kick for the Rebels, looking for Ben Harris. Ben Harris up against Omasusi. Ball breaks here towards Warren Harris, finds Ben Harris. Ben Harris trying to play it in 1-2 with Warren Harris, and finds Ben Harris down this near hand side, but skips off the ground and out of play for a goal kick to the home side. And not a lot going on. They're just taking the time getting the ball back here, but coming up to a quarter of an hour gone. 0-0 is the score. And both sets of fans just enjoying the September sunshine here. So we wait for McDonald to take this goal kick. And long kick by him trying to find Murphy. Nisbet's there, but Murphy wins the header. It's flicked on again. Sam Togwell for Slough comes along. Whelpdale with the header. Ball bouncing around. Here towards George Wells. He smashes that ball clear for Slough. Ben Harris chases it with Omasusi, but it breaks here towards Porter. Porter's got time to turn inside the centre circle. Chipping that ball over again. Looking for the run of Murphy. Murphy stays onside. Being forced wide though by Nisbet. Murphy comes inside to get a shot in. It's blocked in the air in the penalty area by Wells. He clears the ball long, trying to find Ben Harris, but again it's overhit and out of play. And Slough on the back foot here this afternoon, clearly. Chelmsford, one of the favourites for the National League South title. And Anderson with this throw in, looking for Whelpdale. It comes and skips off the head, hooked clear by Jackman, but it's won back here by Matt Stevens on his debut. In towards Lee Togwell. Togwell's ball looking for the run of Ben Harris. It's down the line. Omasusi will chase this one. Ben Harris is just going to guide it in, but it's gone out of play for a throw to Chelmsford deep inside their own half. And it'll just give Slough a bit of a chance to do that. I can see that Chris Flood and Guy Hollis are warming up for the Rebels. Whether that means there's a early substitution, I don't know, but we're just waiting for Anderson to take this throw deep inside his own half, and finally gets his throw away, easily won by Warren Harris. His header finds Matt Stevens. Ball won back by Barnum Bob. Ball played back towards the goalkeeper, who's just forced to rush his clearance down the field. And Rates beaten to the ball by Wells. Comes here towards Dobson. Dobson up against Bob. Bob wins the header. Dobson wins it back, but as Joshua fouled. And it's a free kick to Chelmsford City, taken quickly, and Nisbet in towards George Wells. Here towards Davis. Davis spreads the ball out on the far hand side, finding Warren Harris. Harris immediately under pressure by Anderson, and gives it to Jackman. Jackman under a bit of pressure here, just can't go back towards his goalkeeper, and in the end plays it out of field for a throw to Chelmsford City. And Slough are under the cosh here this afternoon. And after that visit to Essex last Saturday, they didn't get anything out of that game. Not getting much out of this game here at the moment, but Anderson to take this throw here. In towards Murphy. Murphy's little flick intercepted by Warren Harris. Ball down the field for Stevens to chase. The goalkeeper comes way out of his box to play the ball here towards Porter. Played back in. Ben Harris chases it. McDonald does clear in the end. And it skips across the surface in towards Church. Church on the far hand side find Anderson. Anderson inside towards Porter. Porter just inside this Slough half. Played it in towards Murphy. Looking for a little flick there, but he gets a chance to come through. Great save though by Jack Turner with his feet. And the ball still bouncing around on the edge of the Slough box. And Davis just got caught there as he went to clear that one. He's up on his feet quickly. Fouled by Church. And just a little bit late there on Scott Davis, who played most of last season for Chelmsford before he came to the Rebels. And the referee just having a quiet word. Now the Slough fans behind the goal. If you've never been to the Melbourne Park Stadium, it's got a run track around it, but they have got temporary stands behind the goals. And Slough have the one with the roof on it. And it will be Jack Turner take this free kick for Slough. And Turner just waits for the ball over the top, looking for Ben Harris, flicking the ball on. Warren Harris tries to get there. Omasusi comes across. Omasusi clears, looking for Murphy. Sam Togwell gets a header to it. And then it's kept in on the far hand side, but Lee Togwell can't keep the ball in. It's out of play for a throw. And Neil Murphy's he's listening in Wexham. Wexham, not Wrexham. Ball's played in here by Anderson towards Church. Church back in towards Anderson. Chased down by Stevens, working hard on his debut. Ball played in here towards Porter. Porter can turn. Central position for him. Spreads it out towards Barnum Bob. Bob plays it back here towards Swain. Swain inside towards Porter, who's making a bit of space. Davies goes with him. Ball played in here to Whelpdale. Whelpdale turns. Good play by him and finds Omasusi on that left hand side. Comes in running with the ball. Plays a little ball in there. It's intercepted well by Sam Togwell. Trying to find Maddie Stevens, but it's back here with Reason. Playing the ball over the top. And Josh Jackman does well to control the ball, but can't keep it in. It's out of play for a throw to the home side on the far side. And played in towards Whelpdale. Here gets the ball back here from Anderson. Whelpdale with a chance to cross the ball in. George Wells at the back post. It's cleared off the line by Sam Togwell. And here with Dobson. Slough under silly amounts of pressure here. They really can't get out of this game. Ball played in. It's just over hit, but it's Togwell who clears the ball off the line for Slough from a header from Murphy, the club's leading scorer, Murphy. And he almost added to that tally here. Slough just trying to slow the game down here. George Wells to take this throw. And it's George Wells with this throw in towards Ben Harris, flicking the header on for Matty Stevens to chase. Swain's going to cross to hook the ball out. Slough gained a couple of about 10 yards with that throw. Taken quickly by Dobson, looking for Warren Harris. Warren Harris chips on the edge of the box. He comes back out here towards Dobson. Dobson challenged there and loses the ball out. And comes off Rates for a throw to Chelmsford. Quickly taken by Wells. In towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris just gets caught. Slough win a free kick there for a foul. And it's around about 25 yards away from goal, about 10 yards inside of the pitch. And Scott Davis is the player standing over this free kick for the Rebels. It looks as though Togwell and Nisbet have gone forwards into the box. Dobson's gone into the box as well, which is unusual. He's normally the free kick taker, but this is on the left hand side, so maybe Davis trying to swing this in towards the goal. Two-man ball here for Chelmsford City. And Davis just waiting for a signal to come in here. And Slough making a rare attack into the Chelmsford half. And he whips the ball into the far post. It's headed away to where Jackman wins the header, trying to find Lee Togwell, but one back here with Chelmsford City, and they can attack here with Whelpdale. Bringing the ball 20-30 yards. Going to play the ball on the far hand side. Murphy looked like he was onside, but ball's here with Reason. Reason on the far hand side to Anderson. Anderson got time to control. Gets his cross in. It's not the best. Hooked clear by Nisbet. Picked up here by Porter. Porter with the ball out towards Anderson. Togwell's got to come in and go across. Whips it in left-footed. Davis heads the ball away for Slough. Omasusi cushion header towards Anderson. Lee Togwell closes him down. And back here to Omasusi. Turns away from Stevens. Ball chipped down the field here for Church. Josh Stratman comes across and then plays it out of play for a throw. And the Slough fans have just seen Slough in the Chelmsford City half. Quick wave and they came back. And it's a throw on the far hand side. You'll wait a while for a ball to come in from the far hand side. Anderson will take this throw. And it's here with Whelpdale. A heavy touch, but he gets a cross in, but it's easily taken by Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just slows the game down here just to allow Slough to get back a little bit here. And Turner will just take a little bit of time. Just gone halfway through the first half here. It's 0-0 here between the two sides. Turner still has the ball in his hands. And long ball down the field for Ben Harris, headed away by Omasusi. They're out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And it will be a throw that Josh Jackman will take down this near hand side. And it's Jackman to take this throw. 10 yards inside the Chelmsford City half. Just again waiting for a bit of movement from some of the Slough Town players. It comes in towards Dobson. Dobson trying to turn. Plays it back in towards Warren Harris. His ball's blocked. It's come off Warren Harris last. It's out for a goal kick. And Slough have done well here this afternoon to... excuse me, I've got hiccups now. To be 0-0 here at the moment. That's just saying how the game is going. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. And Slough are fortunate to be 0-0. And... not many goals around in the league this afternoon. And the ball played in, flicked on well by Whelpdale towards Murphy. Davis gets his body in the way and plays the ball forward. Swain comes across to volley his clearance. George Wells heads it on for Slough, trying to find Ben Harris. He controls the ball, just overruns it, but gets the ball back here towards Lee Togwell. Closed down, but Davis spreads it out, looking for Warren Harris on that far hand side. Anderson rises to win the header. Whelpdale misses it. It falls to Josh Jackman in towards Stevens. Stevens trying to turn, but Omasusi with a change. One back here by Ben Harris. Warren Harris with the ball in. It's broken though on the car hand side for Chelmsford. And Anderson under pressure deep inside his corner flag by Warren Harris, just holding the ball up and tries a few little clever tricks, and that's the first corner of the game for the Slough Town. First corner of the game for either side. And Dobson goes across to take this corner for the Rebels. It'll be an in-swinging corner for Slough. Sam Togwell and Mark Nisbet have gone forwards. The Slough fans now in good voice behind that goal. Several stewards there, just keeping an eye. I must know what the Slough Town faithful are like here. Dobson to take this in-swinging corner for the Rebels. Played into the back post, headed away in the centre there. And it will come back in by Slough. Now looking for a free kick by Davis. Ball breaks on the far two things, and there's a foul by Sam Togwell. And Togwell will just be spoken to by the referee. Just stopping Chelmsford attacking early, and they've taken it quickly, but the referee will call that back for Togwell to have spoken to. And he's not going to book him, surely. He is. Sam Togwell gets a yellow card, and on 26 minutes he gets the first yellow card of the day. Just shows you the inconsistency here that Church has made a really bad challenge on Scott Davis that caught him late. Just gets a speaking to. His second time that he's been spoken to. First foul by Togwell, gets a yellow card. Just a bit of inconsistency by the referee there. But first player in the book is Sam Togwell for Slough. And McDonald will take this free kick. 10 yards inside his own half. And puts it high into this sunny sky. Whelpdale heads the ball on. Nisbet gets a header to it, looking for a foul, and it is a foul on Nisbet. And again, number 8, the Church, who's been spoken to 3 times by the referee, but doesn't get a yellow card. Strange. Very strange. It's 0-0. We're coming up to 27 minutes gone. Turner will take this free kick for the Rebels. We'll give you some updated scores for you in a second. And it's Turner to play the ball down the field. Ben Harris trying to go up with Omasusi. Omasusi wins the header. Ball back in here towards Warren Harris. Heads it on. Stevens tries to get there. Headed away by Anderson. Whelpdale comes across and there's a bundle on the floor there. Breaks here towards Josh Jackman. Finds Warren Harris. Harris back in towards Jackman. Plays it down the line. Omasusi volleys it clear. Flicked on by Church. Trying to find Murphy. Murphy gets clattered by Sam Togwell, who's on a yellow card. And again, that just shows you that decision by the referee to book Togwell, whereas Church hasn't been allowed to foul and not get anything. It means that Togwell is on a tightrope, which isn't easy to say. Let me tell you that. So I'll try and give you the latest scores from the other games as well. So we just wait for this free kick to come in from Anderson. Played in. Swain's come forwards for Chelmsford, and he tries to get there, gets his ball in. It comes off Nisbet for Chelmsford's first corner of the game. And this corner is right in front of our commentary position. Swain will stay forwards. Just eating the microphone cover here at the moment. We're just going to wait for Reason to come across to take this corner. And Reason will swing this ball. It'll be an out-swinging corner here for Slough to defend. And Murphy standing on the goal line. And the ball played into the box to the far side. Headed back in there. It's fixing around, and Turner saves the ball as no one could get a touch to it, and Turner dives on it for Slough just to ease the pressure on this Slough town side. And Turner, this long kick down the field, looking for Dobson. Dobson keeps the ball in, but Barnum Bob just chases it back here. Matty Stevens chases him back. It's here towards McDonald, the goalkeeper. It's time to clear the ball long. Nisbet jumps and gets caught there by Murphy. There's an offside. We're not going to kick him a yellow card, kicking the ball away, ref? No, don't be silly. Why would you want to do that? Free kick. And again, the referee just says a word. And it's Murphy that fouled and kicked the ball away there. It's a free kick to Slough. George Wells will take this. And Wells may well leave this for Turner. It's just Turner actually plays it in here towards Wells. Wells on the halfway line, crosses in with his left foot, looking for Ben Harris. Harris wins the flick on towards Matt Stevens in the box here towards Ben Harris, who shoots, and it takes I thought it took a deflection, but it's actually a shot off target for the Rebels. And they get a round of applause from the Slough fans who have managed to see the ball in this first half. So Slough fans have seen the ball twice so far. We'll give you the latest scores. Only goal so far is Hungerford 0, Gloucester City 1, Wealdstone 1, Truro 0, Welling 0, Oxford City 1, and Woking 1, Billericay 1. Those are your only games with goals in the National League South as it is. As McDonald's ball headed on by Whelpdale. Davis is first to the ball for Slough, and under pressure goes back towards Jack Turner. Murphy will chase the ball down, but Turner long kick down the field. And it's Stevens can't get to the ball, but it's broken kindly here towards Warren Harris, who can turn here up against Rate, who's now swapped sides. And Warren Harris under pressure, bit of a backheader there by Anderson, finds Porter. Porter back in towards Anderson, who can clear the ball, but that's easily taken down by George Wells on his chest. And then chipping the ball forward, looking for the run of Stevens. Stevens tries to get there, but goalkeeper does well to come to the edge of his area and get there first. Stevens not getting much on his debut here to play with. And McDonald has the ball in his hands here, just drops it down a little. And Ben Harris chases Swain down. It's played short here towards Swain. Swain with the ball down the field, looking again for the ball over the top of Murphy, but that's straight out of play for a goal kick. And the fastest person ever at this club is the ball boy. He's moved a lot faster than any Slough player has this afternoon, that's for sure. But there you go. So Slough have a goal kick. And Neil's waiting for the end of the cricket analogy. I don't know what cricket, maybe a cricket score that Chelmsford might get for us. And it's Turner to take this goal kick for Slough. Long ball down the field. Ben Harris just runs straight into Anderson, looking for a free kick. Togwell being turned by Murphy. And again Murphy makes the foul. And again the referee is just going to have a word. So it's strange. 8 fouls for Chelmsford, and they've not had a yellow card. Slough committed 5, and they've already had the 1 card already. So free kick for Slough on the halfway line. George Bell's being told by Scott Davis to go a little bit wide, and no, he's going to leave it for Wells to come in across to take. And this bit has gone forwards for Slough for this one. As Slough going to put this ball into the box here, and it's going to be Wells to take this. Goes near to the side post where Ben Harris flicks the ball on, but sorry, Dobson it was in the end who flicked the ball on, but no one chasing it for the Rebels, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. We're just going to wait while I do my shoelaces up. Hold on a second. You know what it's like, health and safety. McDonald to take this goal kick here for Chelmsford. Long kick aimed towards Welkdale. Looks like he's swapped sides with Rate. Ball played in. It's won by Porter. Just a heavy touch by him, and he gets there first before Ben Harris. Ball's here with Omasusi. Just runs the ball out here looking for Anderson. Anderson just inside his own half. Plays the ball down here for Murphy to chase. Togwell comes across for Slough. It comes off Sam Togwell last. And now to play for a throw to Chelmsford. Just almost level with the 18-yard box of Slough. And they're going to leave it for Anderson to take. We've got a Mosquito come in as well. Quick throw in here towards Rate, gets it back towards Anderson. Ball played in. Togwell gets a touch to it. Ball played into the box, all the way to the back post. It's missed by 2 Chelmsford players, thankfully for Slough, across the face of the goal, and out and for a goal kick. And Slough are living dangerously here at Melbourne Park. We played 34 minutes, still 0-0 between the two sides, but one-way traffic, unfortunately for the Rebels, and it's going to be Jack Turner with this goal kick for Slough. At least second half, Slough will be attacking this end, so I won't see any of the football. Turner with this long kick down the field, it's looking for Matt Stevens. It's gone over his head and bounces all the way through to the opposing goalkeeper, McDonald. And McDonald just waits there, waiting for a bit of movement here. Swain comes deep to try and take the ball, but McDonald launches it down the far hand side, looking for Rate. Rate does well to win the flick on. Sam Togwell comes across, chases, boots that one down the running track, and it's all the way down. It'll be another throw to Chelmsford City, halfway inside the Slough Town half. And again, Anderson, the left back, taking his throw in towards Reason. Helps on here towards Church. Church little flick on, headed away by Sam Togwell. Davis with a cushion header finds George Wells. Wells this ball, it's just given straight back to Chelmsford here with Swain. Finds Porter. Porter inside that centre circle, bossing that area, plays it in. Rate takes it down on his chest, hooks it on for Anderson. Well tracked back by Warren Harris, who just volleys that ball clear down the field. And I've got a Mosquito Nat who's come to visit. He's just flying up to the roof here. As we're here in a little box here, commentary box on this far hand side. Rate flicks the ball on straight at Josh Jackman, who plays the ball down the field, looking for Ben Harris. Harris flicks the ball on and gets a touch to it, but it's Porter. Plays it back to his goalkeeper with a bit of pace on it. Stevens chases it, but McDonald's there first for Chelmsford. Underneath it is George Wells, but it hits Reason. Ball played into the box. Togwell comes across, and Wells just turns Reason there and then chips the ball down for the run of Maddie Stevens. Swain comes across and wins that one easily. Played it in towards Porter. Porter is allowed to turn and play it in towards Reason. Lee Togwell's chasing with ball on the far inside to Anderson. Anderson venturing forwards. Sam Togwell trying to get there first. Ball's played in. It's taken a touch off Sam Togwell, and that'll be a corner to the home side. And it's corner on the far hand side this time for Chelmsford City. Reason is the player that goes across to take this one. He's right by the hammer net. So if you've ever been to an athletics stadium, there's a hammer net. There's no net on the hammer net at the moment, but here's where the hammer circle is. And this will be an in-swinging corner here. Anderson makes a late run. No one spotted it by Slough. And plays to the edge of the box. It's Porter with a shot, but that's it's taken a deflection. And it's over the top, and another corner to Chelmsford City. Again, Reeson again will take it this time. Slough will try and look alive to that short corner routine. And it'll be Jai Reeson, the number 10, to take this in-swinging corner here for Chelmsford. Played in towards the near post and bouncing around. It's gone out of play and it's gone out for another corner. Comes off Lee Togwell last. And again, the Chelmsford fans with a bit of noise here. Slough just trying to make it. Murphy just on the goal line. Reeson to take this in-swinging corner. Again on that far-hand side. Third corner in a row for the home side. And Reeson this time gets a really good ball in. It's played headed away. And it will come out of play for a throw. Slough looking for a throw to them, but it's a throw to Chelmsford City. And Barnum Bob comes across to take this throw. Whelpdale with a bit of movement there. A little bit too much movement for Barnum Bob. He didn't notice it. And Bob looks like he's going to try and put a long throw into the box here for Slough to defend. And it's just looped in. It's headed away by George Wells. Comes to Ben Harris, who flicks the ball on. Matty Stevens chases this with Omasusi. Omasusi goes back towards his goalkeeper. Good touch by the goalkeeper. Under pressure and finds Swain. Heavy touch by him, but he gets away with that one. Flicked on by Reason. And Sam Togwell with the header finds Warren Harris on the far hand side. Harris with a chance to run at the defence. Just getting held back finds Josh Chapman. Chapman little ball inside towards Scott Davies. Davies flicking the ball out, looking for a run, but again, no Slough player would notice what he was doing. And it's easily taken by McDonald. We've got a fly in here now. We've got a fly and a gnat in our commentary position. We've also got another commentary team, but it's not those two. Ball played in towards Whelpdale. Cuts inside here, but Wells follows him, but he finds Porter. Porter again in that centre circle position. Plays it out on the far hand side to Anderson. Good control by the left back. Jackman comes and closes him down, but the ball's still crossed in, but it's punched by Jack Turner. Should have caught that one. And here with Dobson, he clears the ball down the line looking for Matt Stevens. Stevens trying to turn against Swain. Stevens is adjudged to have fouled, and that's a poor decision by Matt Stevens there. He's getting goal side and just tug on Swain's shirt, and it's a free kick to the home side. Coming up to 40 minutes gone. Still 0-0 between the two sides. Oh, my screen's gone off. And it's McDonald to take this free kick for Chelmsford, the goalkeeper. Plays it in here looking for Whelpdale. Whelpdale, little header in. Lee Togwell smashes that ball clear. Stevens will have to try and chase that one. I've got a funny feeling that Perry Coles would have been a better choice for me this afternoon. He does a lot of running on. Maybe that'll be it. The referee just telling Barnum Bob to take this throw from the... He's actually like taking it 10 yards away from where he was. But the throw comes in on that far hand side, in towards Murphy. Murphy turning. George Wells gets in there and wins the ball for Slough. Now needs to just put a bit of quality. Ball over the top, looking for Stevens. It's headed away by Swain. Porter wins it back, and Ben Harris tries to chase it down in towards Porter. Dobson can't get there either, and Porter's allowed plenty of time just to orchestrate everything there, and finds Anderson on the far hand side. Ball played back in towards Porter. Porter with a bit of movement plays it out here, looking on the far hand side to Raitt. Finds Anderson. Anderson back in towards Raitt. Raitt trying to just create a bit of space to try and get a cross in. Gets his cross in and bouncing around on the edge of the box here towards Murphy. Little back hook, chested down by... The ball comes out towards Whelpdale. Stretches for the ball. Slough can't get there. In the end, it's Nisbet who gets a touch to it. Slough under so much pressure this afternoon here. And it's here with Barnum Bob coming down the right hand side, trying to get down some pace. Does well to get past his man. Great defending by... Oh, that come off Chelmsford player last. That's the corner, but it came off Barnum Bob last. Poor refereeing. Poor linesmanship, I should say. What do you call it? Assistance linemanship. Reason comes across to take this corner. It'll be an outswinging corner here for Chelmsford. And again, Slough under the pressure. And Reason takes it short here towards Barnum Bob. Gets it back here towards Reason. Reason can take a touch. Gets his cross in. That's a good cross. Hooked in by hand. Looks for a handball as if Nisbet hit against his own hand. Ball still bouncing around in the box. Breaks here towards Whelpdale. Crosses it in. Bounces around. Oh, it's a save by Turner onto the bar. What a save by Jack Turner. He pushes the ball from literally no distance onto the bar. And it's gone out for a throw here. And that was almost the first goal of the game. But Slough are holding on for dear life. Ball played in here. The throw will come in from Barnum Bob. Played in towards Whelpdale. He's got plenty of time to cross. Blocked by Wells's behind. In towards Church. Heavy touch by him, but he finds Barnum Bob. Gets the ball back to Church. Tries a back heel for Barnum Bob. Wells comes across to clear for Slough. Only gives the ball back towards Whelpdale. Whelpdale can't keep the ball in and out of play. What a great save that is by Jack Turner. He pushed the ball onto the bar from around literally underneath his goal. Couldn't see who the shot came in from. And it's Turner keeping the scores 0-0 here at the moment. And Slough have a throw 5 yards from their own corner flag. George Wells is going to come across to take this. And it's Wells with this throw, trying to find Ben Harris. Ben Harris does well to flick the ball on. Matt Stevens trying to get there. Swain with the header. Davies for Slough headed on. Stevens still trying to get there. I think breaks here towards Scott Davis. Has time on the ball. Needs to stop and look. Oh, what's he done there? He's played an aimless ball down the field there for Slough to come and chase. Look at the fly. I'm just going to flick the fly. Oh, what a shot. Just flick the fly. Throw here towards Barnum Bob. He's half inside his own half for Chelmsford City down his right hand side. And his throw comes in. Whelpdale gets a touch to it but can't keep the ball in place. Out of play for a throw to Slough. Just inside their own half. And George Wells to come across to take this. Some of the Slough fans making their way to the bar, which is in the corner. In towards, the throw comes in from Wells, in towards Dobson. Headed away though by Porter. Flicked on by Reason. Davis gets his head to it and finds George Wells. Put over again, looking for Matt Stevens to chase. Ball comes out towards Dobson. Played in. Stevens had stopped his run. Ben Harris tries to come in. It's cleared by Swain, and that'll be a throw to the Rebels. Poor touch by the ball boy. And it's a throw to Slough, halfway inside the Chelmsford City half. And it's going to be Wells to take this throw. In towards Ben Harris. Gets the ball back towards Wells. Wells trying to cross the ball in with a bit of pace. Inside the box is Stevens. Stevens tries to get there, but he's been adjudged to be offside. And Stevens can't believe that he's been called offside there. But it's a free kick here to Chelmsford City on the edge of their 18-yard box. McDonald with the goalkeeper will take. And we've got around about 35 seconds of this first half remaining. The sun's just a bit gone in there, just coming over a bit cloudy and overcast here as McDonald plays the ball on the far hand side. Jackman wins the header. Flicked on by Lee Togwell. Trying to find Matt Stevens. Stevens does well to hold the ball up. Finds Lee Togwell in towards Warren Harris. But Slough have lost the ball again though with Rate with the ball. It's come off Rate last. It's a throw to the Rebels on the far side. And Slough will just take their time here. Sam Togwell will come across to take this throw. And no, they're going to leave it for Josh Jackman. 1 minute of added time to be added on here. I don't know where that minute came from, but there you go. And the throw comes in, looking for Ben Harris, comes off Omazuzi, and Slough have a throw 10 yards inside the Chelmsford City half. And again, it's Josh Jackman who will stand over this throw for the Rebels. And Jackman's ball in towards Ben Harris, flicks the ball on well, but unfortunately out of play and out for a goal kick. And I guess when the kick comes in, that will be the end of the first half. And it's going to be a goal kick from McDonald to take this. And it's going to be McDonald. As soon as he takes his kick, the referee should blow for half time. Nope. He's going to let the ball go straight out of play. And then blows for the end of the first half. So there you go. It's 0-0 here at half time. And I can tell you that Slough have been under the cosh here, but Chelmsford have only had 5 shots so far in the game, and they maybe should have done a bit better with a couple of those chances, but Slough hung on well. Chelmsford have had 5 corners to Slough's 1 corner, but it's 0-0 here at the moment at Melbourne Park. The second half to come. We'll give you the half-time scores for you as well, but unless something happens in the second half of formation, I think we're going to see all the action down the far end. Unfortunately, Slough will be shooting towards where our commentary position is, here right by this corner flag on the near side. But I've got a funny feeling that we're going to see all the action down the far end of the pitch for this second half. So we'll try and find you the scores for you for the rest of the games this afternoon, and we'll start with obviously the National League South for you. See some of you. Miles Reardon says Goal Siege. David Randall's just joined us. Thank you very much. Graham says all this backs to the wall stuff by Slough isn't good for my nerves. It's all right for you. I've got to try and describe it to you. Right, so we've got our half-time quiz, which I know you all love, and in honour of Matty Stevens signing for Slough, we have a Stevens sports quiz. Well, a Stevens quiz, not sports, but some of it is. But basically, I'm going to give you 5 questions of famous Stevens. All you've got to do is tell me who they are. It's that simple. So, I think the first one for me is the hardest one, because I didn't know who this person was. But you have to tell me which Stevens, first name or surname, which actor appears in Downton Abbey with the name Stevens or Stephen. Question 2 is which actor has appeared in films called The Glimmer Man, Half Past Dead and Hard to Kill. So that's which actor has appeared in films called Glimmer Man, Half Past Dead and Hard to Kill. Alright, question 3 is which footballer played for Stoke City, Sevilla and is now playing with Roma. This might have the name Stephen in his name somewhere along the lines. Question 4. Nice and easy one for you. You know this one. This is the easy one. Which musician has the songs include Oh Julie, Cry a Little Bit and This Old House? Come on, I'm making it easy for you this afternoon. And question 5. Footballer, born in Barrow-in-Furness, played for Everton and Rangers. Let's just say he's not current, but he's a famous Stephen or Stevens. So there you go. Those are your half-time quiz. I want the name of the actor who appears in Downton Abbey, the actor who's appeared in Glimmer Man, Half Past Dead, Hard to Kill, footballer who's played for Stoke City, Sevilla and now plays for Roma, singer whose songs include Oh Julie, Cry a Little Bit and This Old House, and a footballer born in Barrow-in-Furness, played for Everton and Rangers. It's a famous Stevens quiz for you this afternoon in honour of Matty Stevens, who signed for us from Peterborough United. He was at Kettering last season, scored lots of goals. Unfortunately, hasn't had much of the ball currently this afternoon and hasn't seen much of it. So we'll try and give you the scores from around the doors, as they say. And we'll just wait for National League South. Just eating the microphone. Okay, so other games and goals for you in the National League South. It's Chippenham 0, Concord Rangers 1, Dulwich 0, Hampton and Richmond 0, East Thurrock 0, Bath 0, Hungerford 0, Gloucester City 1, St Albans 0, Dartford 0, Torquay 0, Hemel Hempstead 0, it's Wealdstone 1, Truro 0, Welling 1, Oxford City 1, Weston-super-Mare 0, Eastbourne 0, and Woking 1, Billericay Town 1. That means that so far, out of the 11 games in the National League South, not a single game, only one game has been by home. Only one team is winning at home in the National League South. That's what I meant to say. I won't give you the Premier League half-time scores, because I know some of you like to watch Match of the Day without knowing scores. So we'll move on to Sky Bet Championships, where it's Birmingham 0, QPR 0, Brentford 0, Nottingham Forest 0, it's Hull 0, Derby County 1, Preston 2, Bolton Wanderers 2, Reading 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Sheffield United 3, Aston Villa 0, West Brom 1, Stoke 0, and Wigan 0, Rotherham United 0. Into Sky Bet League 1, it's Accrington Stanley 0, Scunthorpe 0, Barnsley 2, Gillingham 0, Burton 1, AFC Wimbledon 0, Coventry 0, Rochdale 0, Fleetwood 1, Bradford City 1, Peterborough United 0, Doncaster 1, looks like they might need Maddie Stevens back. Portsmouth 1, Plymouth 0, Shrewsbury 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Southend 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Sunderland 0, Oxford United 1, Walsall 0, Blackpool 0, and Wycombe Wanderers 1, Luton 0. Into Sky Bet League 2 for you this afternoon. It's Bury 2, Morecambe 1, Cheltenham 0, Colchester United 2, Crewe 2, Macclesfield 0, Exeter 0, Lincoln 2, Grimsby 0, Yeovil 0, Mansfield 0, Carlisle 0, Northampton Town 0, Tranmere Rovers 0, Notts County 0, Forest Green Rovers 1, Oldham 1, Crawley 1, Port Vale 1, Newport 1, Stevenage 0, Cambridge United 1, and Swindon 0, MK Dons 1. Into the National League, it's Barrow 0, Solihull Moors 0, Boreham Wood 1, Braintree 0, Chesterfield 0, Leyton Orient 0, Dagenham 0, Salford City 0, Dover 0, Barnet 2, Ebbsfleet 0, AFC Fylde 0, Ebbsfleet 0, AFC Fylde 0. Gateshead 0, Maidstone 0, it's Harrogate 1, Eastleigh 0, Hampton Waterlooville 0, Hartlepool 1, Maidenhead 1, Bromley 0, Sutton 0, FC Halifax 0, Wrexham 0, Aldershot Town 0. Those are your scores from the other leagues for you this afternoon. Like I say, if you do want to get in contact with us, feel free to contact us either on Twitter, it's at MyFC Rebels Radio, or you can do so on the comments page, and you can come through the answers to our quiz of Famous Stevens today. Let's see if anyone has had a go at this. Michael McGranahan's got... No, you got the wrong one. I'm looking for someone called Stephen, or Stevens, who's played for Stoke City, Sevilla and Roma. I don't think Stephen Fletcher has played for either of those, unfortunately. So... not Stephen Fletcher, I'm afraid. So I'm looking for an actor who appears in Downton Abbey with the surname or first name Stevens. We've got an actor who's appeared in films Glimmer Man, Half Past Dead, Hard to Kill. Footballer played for Stoke City, Sevilla, and now plays for Roma. Musician whose songs include Oh Julie, Cry a Little Bit, and This Old House. I mean, if you haven't got that one, I don't know what you're doing. And a footballer born in Barrow-in-Furness, you played for Everton and Rangers in the 90s. That's your half-time quiz for you this afternoon. Good afternoon to Neil Simpson, Tequila Shark, and a few of you listening in. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Not been the best game for the Rebels at the moment. Been on the back foot here at the moment, but hopefully we'll have something change in the second half for Slough. In the meantime, just a reminder of the up-and-coming games for you for Slough. They have, it's next Saturday, we will be at home to Oxford City, that's the 8th of September. On the 15th of September, we are away to Eastbourne Borough. Then the weekend after that, the 22nd, that will be FA Cup game. The draw for that will be Monday the 10th. Of September. So the next round of the FA Cup is played on the 8th of September. The draw will be on the Monday. We will find out our opponents then, whether we're home or away. And just a reminder that on the 13th of September there will be a quiz night at Arbour Park. It's get there for 7:30. The quiz will start at 8 p.m. You can have a maximum of 6 people in your team. It's £5 a member. It is a fundraiser for the club. So please, if you can, please try and get behind that event there, please. I was just watching some of the subs just warm out, and we're just it's quite a strange ground. If you've never been to Melbourne Park here, home of Chelmsford City, it's got a lovely main stand on the far hand side which must seat about 1,000 people, and it's a main stand that looks onto the sports pitch, because obviously this is a athletics stadium, so there's an athletics track running all the way around the outside. They're standing around there. There's 2 little portable stands behind the goals, and the far end, which Slough are attacking in the first half, is covered, and the other end is open. Thankfully it's still nice and sunny. The sun's come back out here at Melbourne Park. Just going to do my shoelace up again. Please bear with me for a second. There you go, that's all done. I'm going to say a good afternoon as well to my other half, who is currently still in hospital. So if you're listening, honey, I will be back later on this evening after we get back tonight. I'll pop down and bore you with all the details of how Slough are going to win this game 8-0. Or lose it 8-0, as it may be. So there you go. We're waiting for the players to start to come out for the second half. There's some clapping from somebody somewhere. I don't know what they've seen. I haven't seen anything come out. But just watching the Slough Town subs just warm up here. Manny Williams and Louis Saws are here today. Just not been included in the 16-man squad. Let's see. Okay, if you've got the winning ticket 3314, then you just won the half-time draw. And you would have won £150. That's why you should come to the games, you see. You could buy one of these tickets. So there you go. We're just... we've got some Essex ladies just down below us here as well. And just a lovely September sunny day here at Melbourne Park, home for Chelmsford City. Will Reese is saying, hi Aid, come on Rebels. Well, at the moment it's been back to the wall stuff for the Rebels this afternoon. Hopefully the second half will bring us something a little bit better. We're just waiting for the players and stuff to come back out of the tunnel, which is on the far hand side. So there's a big main stand opposite our commentary position. We're right by the corner flag here, unfortunately. And there's as you come through, the turnstiles are kind of situated behind the goal, but behind the running track on our right hand side. And then in that right hand corner there's a big tea bar and a bar with toilets and an alcohol bar and whatever in there, and that's it. So just a reminder that Slough have only once ever beaten Chelmsford City. That was in the FA Trophy. That was that year of the 2 cup runs where we ended up beating Walsall, and had the cup run where we eventually lost to Gravesend of Northfleet, as they were then known. And that was the last time that we beat, and the only time that we have beaten Chelmsford City, and in fact it's the only time we've ever scored against Chelmsford. So I'm not holding much hope out for that changing at the moment. So in theory we have played Chelmsford 7 times. We've won 1, drawn none, lost 6. We've scored 1 goal and conceded 17. So now are coming out for the second half, and we'll bring you all of that action. What we'll do is we're just going to keep an eye, see if any of the subs are looking to come on. I'm just trying to see who we've actually got as subs. I'm just trying to see where they are. At the moment it doesn't look like Slough. I'm going to put a substitute on, so I'll run through that in a second. Just waiting for Chelmsford City to come back out, and we'll see how many times Slough crossed the halfway line this second half for you this afternoon. And we'll give you the answers to our half-time quiz as well. Just as we wait for, I can just see a few Slough fans making their way in their amber and blue kits. Right, so your half-time quiz was famous Stevens in honour of Matty Stevens. So our fellow commentators had a go at this. He's got one right. So the first one was actor who played in Downton Abbey is someone called Dan Stevens. I've never heard of Dan Stevens, but there you go. Second one, actor who appeared in the films called Glimmerman, Half Past Dead and Hard to Kill, Steven Seagal. You should go at that one. The footballer who played for Stoke City, Sevilla and Roma wasn't Stephen Fletcher, unfortunately, guys. We've got it right here. Stephen Nzonzi, well done. The easiest one of the lot. This old house is all you need to know. It's Shakin' Stevens. How could I not do a quiz without Shakin' Stevens in it? And finally, footballer that was born in Barrow-in-Furness, played for Everton Rangers, Gary Stevens. Our commentary man from Radio Clouts has got 4 out of 5. I'd love to give you a prize, but there isn't a prize as such. Just go home with that knowledge that Steven Seagal is the man that you should watch some of his films. They're all the same. So there you go. Those are your answers to your half-time quiz. We're just literally waiting for Chelmsford City to come. Maybe they're just so afraid of scoring a hatful of goals they don't want to come out in the second half. They've forfeited. That's a bit of a hope, isn't it? So I'm just going to make sure Slough haven't got any subs at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's got a couple of Slough players waiting to come back out for the second half. It's a little bit late starting for the referee this afternoon. And we'll just have a look out the window from our high commentary position here. And I can tell you that here come Chelmsford City players now. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. There's no different to the Slough 11. So the Slough 11 for the start of the second half is Jack Turner in goal. 2 is Josh Jackman. 3 George Wells. 4 Sam Togwell, who's on a yellow card. 5 Mark Nisbet, the captain. 6 is Lee Togwell. 7 James Dobson. 8 Scott Davies. Ben Harris wears 9. Matt Stevens on his debut wears 10. And 11 making his 200th appearance for the Rebels, Warren Harris. Substitutes for the Rebels will be 12 Guy Hollis, 14 Sean Fraser, 15 Simon Dunn, 16 Chris Flood, 18 Perry Coles. The Chelmsford City team are out. I'll just keep an eye on how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it doesn't look like there's any changes for Chelmsford City either. So their starting 11 for this second half is Nathan McDonald in goal. 2 is Jazzy Burnham Bob. 3 is Elliot Omasuzi. 4 Max Porter. 5 is Rob Swain. 6 is Rob Swain. 8 is Anthony Church, who's the captain. 10 Jai Reason. 11 is Tom Raitt. 13 is Joe Anderson. 18 Chris Whelpdale. 19 Reese Murphy. Substitutes for Chelmsford this afternoon will be 5 Michael Spillane. 7 Jonathan Giles. 9 Scott Fenwick. 14 Taylor Miles. 17 is Sean Batt. We are just waiting for the referee, who is Mr. Richardson, to get this game underway. I think Mr. Richardson actually refereed us last season, so maybe he's been promoted up to the league. Slough will be shooting from left to right this second half. Commentary to our commentary position. And Slough will have the kick-off this afternoon for the second half. Referee just making sure that everybody is there. Making sure the goalkeepers are okay, his linesmen okay, and there you go, it started the second half here, and he stopped it immediately because Murphy is in the wrong half, and he's going to restart that one. There you go, and the ball's here with Scott Davies, played out here to George Wells, the left back. That fly's come back, I just flicked him. Ball played down the field here, looking for Maddie Stevens, now looking for a free kick, and win that free kick for a foul by Swain, who's just explaining that he wasn't really doing anything wrong. So it's a free kick for Slough. The Slough fans behind this goal to our right making a bit of noise. Slough are in the Chelmsford half. Hold your hat. Slough are in the Chelmsford half, and it's going to be James Dobson to take this free kick. 2-man wall again for Chelmsford City. Sam Togwell and Mark Nisbet have joined the attack here. Ball played into the box, headed away by Porter. Comes out here towards Whelpdale. And Stevens gets in front of him and steals the ball off him. Finds Dobson. Dobson crosses back in. Comes off the head of Church. Headed away. It will come out here towards Lee Togwell. Lee Togwell heads the ball in, looking for his brother Sam. Headed away in. Nisbet gets a touch out towards Warren Harris. Flicks the ball in. Almost found Ben Harris. Headed away by Omasuzi. Togwell chests it down towards Scott Davis, who's put the ball high up in the air, and it's kept in by Dobson, but it's hit his hand, and as he controlled it, nothing he could do about that. It's a free kick to Chelmsford City. And again, the referee just allowed to kick the ball away, with Dobson kicking the ball away, and the referee just allows that to happen. I'm not sure what is going on with the referee. Ball volleyed clear by Josh Chapman in towards Scott Davies, being followed here by Church, but plays it down the line. It's hit Church and bounces through, and Murphy is in an offside position, and there's a free kick here to the Rebels. And the Chelmsford fans, who are in the area behind the goal with a cover on it, are making a lot of noise now this second half. Turner to take this free kick for Slough. Played here deep, looking for Ben Harris. Up against Anderson. Ball will come through to Warren Harris. Has time to control. Hits his cross at Omasusi. Warren Harris gets there first. Keeps the ball in and kept in by Josh Chapman. Finds Lee Togwell. Crosses in first time. It's curling away from McDonald, but he does well to claim that ball. And tries to get Whelpdale on the attack with a throw out to the players. Closed down well though by George Wells. It comes off Wells and it's out of play for a throw on the far hand side to Chelmsford City. And it will be Barnum Bob to take this throw. Played in, headed away by Wells. Davies will try and flick the ball, heads it the wrong way towards Murphy. Murphy holds the ball up and finds Reeson. Reeson plays it in here and it's back in towards Reeson. He spreads it on the far hand side to Barnum Bob. Barnum Bob just standing in front of Dobson. Dobson steals the ball off him, but Bob gets there first, and it's here with Porter on the right hand side, chipping the ball down the line. Church gets a touch too, breaks in the centre here and played through, but that's a poor touch there by Murphy. It goes through to Jack Turner and it's kept in by the goalkeeper, and he'll wait for Murphy to come forwards before picking the ball up. And I think that Chelmsford have a mascot called Claret the Parrot. Ball played forwards here by Turner, looking for Maddie Stevens, won by Omasusi. Lee Togwell tries to get there, but Church has played the ball out here towards Whelpdale. Whelpdale just forced backwards though towards the right back Barnum Bob, who gets fouled by Ben Harris. And what a surprise that Ben Harris committing the foul there. But it's a free kick here to Chelmsford City, a few yards inside their own half. And it's going to be taken by Barnum Bob. Who's just plays this ball down into, looking for Murphy. It's going to come through from Sam Togwell, who just shields the ball back towards Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And still 0-0 here. Long kick by Turner, gives it towards Dobson. Dobson with a touch on here towards Ben Harris. Dobson's gone down court here. The referee says play on. Ball's here with Ben Harris, but Slough are outnumbered. Ben Harris running with the ball. The ball just falls into the arms. I'm waiting for the referee to call it back for a foul, but he doesn't do it. It's rolled out here towards Barnum Bob. Barnum Bob can travel with the ball. Dobson tries to come through. Porter with the ball played forwards. Intercepted well by Nisbet, but he can't keep the ball in play. Out of play for a throw. And Dobson's just going to be spoken to by the referee. And the Chelmsford fans have found their voice here for the second half. And it's going to be a free kick here. I was going to say it's a throw, surely, referee. I don't know where Barnum Bob's going. Is he getting a yellow card? Barnum Bob's just been given a yellow card for arguing over the fact it's a throw or a free kick. So I don't know what he's doing there, but Barnum Bob gets a yellow card for most probably dissent, I guess. And he puts the ball in here towards Porter, gets the ball back, played back here towards Porter, Porter back towards Swain. So now working hard to chase across this back four here with Omasusi. Played out here towards Anderson. Anderson cuts back inside. In here towards Jay Reeson. Plays in a deeper role. Played it on the far hand side. Great overlap run there by Barnum Bob. Just got to keep the ball in. Crosses the ball in well. Easily headed away though by Nisbet. Comes back out though to Barnum Bob, who lets the ball run out for a throw. And the Chelmsford fans making a lot of noise here this second half. As Bob puts this throw in. It's chested by Church. Volleyed clear by Scott Davis. Trying to find Ben Harris. In towards Omasusi. Played across here towards Anderson. Anderson just inside the Slough half. Crosses first time for the ball in. Headed away by Slough. Comes out here towards Scott Davis. Leaves it for Lee Togwell. Togwell clears the ball down the line, but first it's gone straight out of play. And Barnum Bob to take this throw for Chelmsford City. 0-0 with 6 minutes of the second half gone. Ball play for Ben Harris trying to win the ball. It's come off Slough player last. It'll be another throw for Chelmsford. Barnum Bob to take. Over the head of Davis with a sliding challenge to win the ball back here with Wells. Wells down the line. Ball for Ben Harris or Matty Stevens to take. Swain takes it out from underneath his feet but can't keep it in. It's now got a throw halfway inside the Chelmsford City half. Dobson looks like he's going to take it quick in towards George Wells. Wells cuts inside here for Slough. Just overrun it. Skips past the challenger Church. Plays it out here towards Jackman, who's got a bit of time to pick his cross, looks in for Ben Harris, headed away though by Barn and Bob, in towards Reason, who smashes that ball clear, one back by Nisbet, in towards Wells. Wells's ball was a bit heavy, and Davis under pressure finds Sam Togwell. Togwell takes it in his stride, but being forced wide, chips it down the line here, looking for the run of Matt Stevens, up against Omasusi. Omasusi gets a touch, makes a mistake there, but he just about gets it to Swain, who clears first time, looking for Murphy. Handball, referee! Oh, dearie me, ball been play on, it's here with Rate. But intercepted by George Wells. Great challenge by him. Just gets caught as he played the ball there. It's gone out of play though, and it's a throw to Chelmsford City. And Barn and Bob to take this throw just by the away dugout. Quickly into Swain. Swain being put under pressure. Here back in towards Barn and Bob. Back here towards Swain. Swain being put under pressure in towards Porter. Porter does well to stretch to win the ball and finds Reason. Reason being followed by Nisbet. Nisbet with a good challenge, blocks the ball out of play for a throw on the far hand side. And it's going to be taken quickly here by Bob, who's just been told to go back to the halfway line. Been told to go back 10 yards. His throw comes in. It's not the best of throws, and Dobson gets there first. Flicked on by Lee Togwell. Back here towards Ben Harris, trying to find the run of Dobson. Dobson got to trace in Swain, but it goes back towards goalkeeper. Oh, heavy touch by the goalkeeper, and it's come off the goalkeeper last for a corner to the Rebels. And McDonald got called out by the back pass. Dobson still chased it down, and the ball ricocheted off the goalkeeper last. It's a corner to the Rebels. Slough will take it. Outswinging corner here. And Togwell and Sam Togwell and Mark Nisbet have gone forward. Warren House goes to the goal line, headed by ball bouncing around inside the box. Still trying to get a touch to it. Still bouncing around in there. Still with Maddie Stevens looking for a free kick. The ball's bouncing around inside. It'll come back out here on the far hand side. It's one back by Dobson. It just ricocheted though to Rate, and they find Church, and Church can clear here down the field. But Slough will win the ball back here with George Wells. Wells crosses first time, looking for Warren Harris. Anderson heads it back towards his own goalkeeper. It's got too much on it, and it's the second corner of the second half here to Slough. Slough just putting some pressure on this second half. No changes in either personnel, but Slough started the second half a lot better than they started the first. And again, Dobson is the player that comes across to take this corner, and it will be an in-swinging corner here for the Rebels. And Dobson just placed it. Now the Slough fans are in voice behind this goal, that right in front of our commentary position. Dobson with this free kick needs a really good quality. Played into the, headed away well by Swain. So Warren Harris flicks it back in. Nisbet will try and get there. It's cleared back out here towards Warren Harris, who crosses in first time. Intercepted by Whelpdale. Plays the ball for Reason to chase out. And Reason just stops inside, plays it in, looking for Murphy. Scott Davis with a great defensive header by Davis. Heads it back here towards Jack Turner, who'll keep the ball in. And Turner with a long clearance down the field, looking for Ben Harris. Up against Anderson. Anderson wins the header. Comes back out towards Josh Chapman. Good control. And it's chipped down the line for Matty Stevens to chase. Ball still in, and Matty Stevens has got the ball in. He's on his own though, breaking into the box. Gets a lucky ricochet. Ball still bouncing around. Just overruns it. Leaves it here to Warren Harris. Plays it in. It's another corner to Slough. Slough with again another corner, and again the ball boy is the fastest player on the pitch. And again Dobson is the player that comes across to take this. 10 minutes gone of this first half, second half, sorry, still 0-0. And Dobson to take this kick. Just a little bit bare on the corner flag area. It's a little bit of bare grouse there. Dobson to take this one. Needs another good delivery into the box. And Dobson to take this one. Played in with a good bit of pace. It's bouncing around, headed away. Flicked on by Reason. Comes out here towards Scott Davis. Davis plays it back into Dobson. Dobson will take this first time. Whips it in. Nisbet tries to flick it on. Oh, it's headed away though by Rake. Comes out here towards Anderson. Oh, heavy touch by him. Gives the ball back in towards Dobson. Dobson trying to go past. Great tackling by Anderson. And Porter can bring the ball away here for Chelmsford City. Oh, he gives the ball away to Scott Davis, but Davis can't control it. Ball played forwards by Reason. On the far hand side to Anderson, the left back, who's the furthest forwards. And he tries to take it first time. Falls over. And it's out of play for a goal kick. So Slough a bit better in the second half than they were in the first half, but still 0-0 between the two sides here. And there is, if you are on Twitter and you follow Slough Town, there is a video of the save by Jack Turner in that first half that keeps the score 0-0. So if you're on Twitter, have a look at that video. just on Slough Town FC. Long kick here by Turner, aimed towards Ben Harris. Ben Harris does well to keep the header in, only as far as Church. Church's header finds George Wells, who puts some power on it, swinging with the touch in. Back here towards Church, overhead kick in. Headed on by Reese Murphy, towards Reese Murphy from Ray. Bounces back here towards Reason. Reason with the ball for Whelpdale. Whelpdale with a shot. Oh, another great save by Jack Turner from Whelpdale. Ball falls here towards Rate. He'll leave it back in towards Whelpdale. Crosses in first time. Ball bouncing around. It's another header. Great save again by Jack Turner. But there was a foul inside the box. It wouldn't have counted anyway. But two efforts there. The Whelpdale volley produced a really good save. Turner did well to save the header from Murphy. Should have maybe done better, but there was a foul inside the box, and it's a free kick to Slough. And Turner just taking his time and running to get that ball there. Go after it to Ben Brandt, who's listening as well. As Turner just places his ball down for this free kick here. And Turner takes this one aimed towards Maddie Stevens up against Swain. Stevens actually wins the header, then gets, just got trampled on there. It's accidental, but the ball out on the far hand side to Whelpdale. Stevens is on the ground injured. Whelpdale with the ball forwards. It's overhit, and that will give Josh Jackman plenty of time to chase that ball down. And he just lets it run out of play for a throw to Slough. And Stevens not having much luck up front here with much service in his first game. But Josh Jackman take this throw for Slough. Trying to find Ben Harris. Flicking on towards Matt Stevens. Tries to hold the ball up. Been stolen off. And ball's here with Swain. Plays it in. Headed away by Josh Jackman. In towards Ben Harris, who shields the ball here. Tries to turn. Slips on the ground and loses the ball to Porter. One back by Slough, but the referee says it's a foul by the Rebels. And it's a free kick to Chelmsford City. Reason and Porter standing over this free kick. It's only about 5 yards inside the Slough half. But Slough again with some defending to do. Anderson just makes a run down the left hand side. Picked up by Warren Harris. But it will be Reason that will take this free kick. Just floated in towards the back post. Headed on there, but headed away by the Chelmsford City player. And Warren Harris races to it. Gets there first and then gets blocked. And that's obstruction there and a foul to Slough. And you'll see a substitution on the far hand side. Coming on is Simon Dunn. He's going to replace James Dobson. So James Dobson is the player off. Simon Dunn is the player on, and that is on the hour. So Dobson comes off. I just wonder if Slough are going to try and match the formation of Chelmsford City and go 4-3-3. So I think Slough are going to go 4-3-3 here, judging by the way that Ben Harris, Warren Harris and Matt Stevens are lining up front. Warren Harris has moved into a central position as Jack Turner takes this free kick and played it in here, and it'll be a first touch for... No, it's headed away by Whelpdale. Comes in towards Scott Davis. His ball puts Mark Nisbet on the back foot here, and he's just got to be careful if he goes back towards his goalkeeper. Murphy's chasing it down. Comes here towards Turner. Turner assured clearance by him. Down the field looking for Maddie Stevens. Headed away by Swain. Ball bounces in towards Scott Davis. Intercepts the ball. Holds the ball up. And just takes his time on the ball. Doesn't need to rush. Plays it out here towards George Wells. Wells cuts inside. Still has the ball. Crosses in right-footed. Over the head of Swain. He almost heads it back into his own goal. Just over the top of the bar. And it's a corner to Slough. Corner number 5 for the Rebels. 5 each now. And can Slough count that as an effort on target or off target? Well, they've got a corner on the far side. And the trouble is, of course, they've just taken off James Dobson, who's their main corner taker. So it's going to be down to Scott Davis, who's going to take this. Mark Nisbet's just going across to indicate what he wants him to do. And Davis just walking gingerly over to that corner. It's going to be an in-swinging corner here for the Rebels. And Davis with this corner, whipped in with some pace, headed across the goal by Ben Harris. It'll be kept in here by Mark Nisbet. He does well to keep the ball in. Simon Dunn, first touch for him. It's a little bit behind him, but he gets across in. He hits it straight at Church, and then the ball falls and spins away from Church. He gets a second chance with his pass. Just plays it down the line, and It's a lot for Murphy to do to chase, and Jack Turner just sees the ball out of play for a goal kick. 17 minutes gone of this second half. Still 0-0 between the two sides. And let's just see if we can find you some other scores. And substitution for Chelmsford City. Coming off is Max Porter, and coming on is number 9 Scott Fenwick, and that's substitution on 63 minutes. So that's Scott Fenwick on for Max Porter. So both sides have made their first substitution. And still 0-0 here. The game will restart with a goal kick here for the Rebels. And Fenwick will go straight up front. Scott Fenwick scored 2 goals so far this season, both of them penalties. And we'll give you those latest scores for you. Slough just take the kick quickly here towards Sam Togwell, just outside of his box. Spreads it here towards Mark Nisbet. Slough just trying to play a little bit more football here. Ball's here with George Wells. He goes back across towards Sam Togwell. Spreads it here towards Josh Jackman. Jackman being chased down here by Ray. Ball played in by Lee Togwell to Ben Harris. Harris just gets caught there. It's a free kick to the Rebels. Just wait for this free kick to come in from Sam Togwell. We'll give you the latest scores for you. So I'm actually going to leave for Scott Davis to come across to take. In fact, you're going to see a second substitution for Slough. And it's Ben Harris coming off, and he's replaced by Chris Flood. Flood on for Ben Harris on 64 minutes. And Ben's done well running around today up against Swain and Omasuzi. But Flood is the player on. While that substitution's happening, that's Chippenham 2, Concord Rangers 1, Dulwich Neil Hampton 2, East Warwick Neil Bath 0, Hungerford 1, Gloucester 2, St Albans 1, Dartford 0, Torquay 0, Hemel Hempstead 0, Wilstone 1, Truro 0, Welling 1, Oxford 1, Western Superman 0, Eastbourne Borough 0, Woking 1, Billericay 1. Those are your latest scores on the National League. Ball played in there, headed away again by Swain. Lee Togwell with the header over the head of Chris Flood. It will come here towards George Wells. Wells up against Murphy, loses the ball, and it's here with Rate. Just overruns the ball and gives it back towards Wells. A bit scrappy here. Ball's here with Scott Davies. Davies just skips him past the challenge. Still running with the ball. Plays it in here towards Simon Dunn. Out towards Flood. Flood first take shot is saved. And Stevens is offside. He puts the ball in the back of the net. But he's offside. So the second game in a row, Slough have a goal disallowed for offside. This time Matty Stevens on his debut. Good shot comes in from Chris Flood, parried by the goalkeeper, but it comes straight to Stevens. It just really hits him and he stabbed it in. Linesman right in front of us, flag up immediately. Still 0-0 here, but the ball played forwards here, headed away by Nisbet. Comes off his head, is out for a throw to Chelmsford. And now the Chelmsford fans in good voice as Barnum Bob takes the throw and gets the ball back. Played in, it's intercepted by George Wells. Down the field here for Stevens to chase. Hooked clear by Swain. Nisbet tries to get there. It's one back here by Slough with Lee Togwell in into George Wells. His clearance is blocked. It's out of play for a throw. And 20 minutes gone so far of this second half. Still 0-0 between the two sides. And George Wells will take this throw for Slough. 15 yards inside his own half. Just throws it back towards Jack Turner in the Slough goal. As he waits for Fenwick to chase him down before playing the ball down the field. It's going to be a free header for Swain. He cushions it in towards Whelpdale. Whelpdale can turn. He's got Simon Dunn on his back. And under pressure finds Swain. Swain across to Omasuzi. Back in towards Swain. Slough just played the ball in here in towards Reason. Reason being closed down by Scott Davis. Now putting some pressure on this Chelmsford back line here with McDonald. Clears it down the field here. And it'll be an offside against Fenwick. And it was well gathered by Jack Turner in the Slough goal anyway. But Fenwick did look an absolute mile offside. And it's going to be a second substitution coming on is number... hold on, what's it got? 10 and 12. I haven't got a 12 on here. Jai Reason is the player coming off. Coming on They did put up 12. Is it number 7? I've got 12, but I ain't got number 12 on here. So we're just going to see who comes on, because they've got squad numbers here at Chelmsford. And he just put up 12 for 10, but there isn't a 12. So we're just going to wait for him to run into the centre and turn around, and we'll tell you who he is. And what it says it's Taylor Miles, but he's got 14 on his shirt, but he wears 12. So there you go. That's where the confusion is. On Susie with the header away, breaks here towards just skips past a couple of challenges, just still going on. Loses the ball, but it comes out here towards Dunn. Dunn's ball flicked into Flood. Flood throws Matty Stevens inside the box. It's the save again, this time by the goalkeeper. And Slough getting better and better in this second half. A good save there by McDonald from Stevens. And it's balls here with McDonald. McDonald just drops the ball outside of his penalty area. Slough much better in this second half. Played forwards here by the goalkeeper. Long ball forwards, headed away by Nisbet. Flicked on by Lee Togwell. Headed on, the referee will say there's a foul against Slough. For a foul on Lee Togwell. Free kick to the Rebels. Over halfway played in this second half. Still 0-0. And my ears are a bit sore, just because of the microphones, but nothing else. Jack Taylor take this free kick for Slough. As he looks to play this in, looking for Matt Stevens up against Swain. Swain with an easy header away. Lee Togwell gets the suck in. It's cleared by Rate, only as far as Mark Nisbet. Takes it in his stride on this halfway line, chipping the ball forwards towards Flood. Flood trying to flick the ball on. Susie comes in with a header, only to Scott Davies, in towards Lee Togwell. He'll spread it out here towards George Wells. Wells has got a bit of space to try and pick a cross out, or played it in towards Flood. Comes straight to the far post, into Slough, and Flood has scored on the attack! It was Chris Flood who just scuffs the ball into the back of the net for the Rebels on 70 minutes. The cross came in from George Wells. It came all the way across. It took a ricochet into the path of George Wells. He was stood there. To Chris Flood. Him and Stephen stood together. Flood gets there first. And Slough, after that first half where they took an absolute battering, have taken the lead. They've been much better this second half. And they have looked a little bit dangerous with a goal disallowed. But Chris Flood, with his second goal of the game, put Slough in front, and either him or Matty Stevens could have got that ball, but it's Chris Flood with a goal, and Slough have the lead here this afternoon, and we didn't think we'd be saying that. Only that is the first league goal that Slough have scored ever against Chelmsford City. It's going to be Chelmsford with the kick-off here, with Giles spreads out towards Barnum Bob. Bob just playing to play the ball in, headed away by Nisbet. George Wells will keep hold of that ball. He'll play it straight down the field, out goes straight out of play. And out for a throw to Chelmsford City. We've got 20 minutes left of the game. And it's the Slough fans who are in the bit of better mood here at the moment. The throw comes in from Barnum Bob. Flicked on well. Comes in towards Fenwick down the far hand side. His cross is blocked by Nisbet. And out for another throw to Chelmsford. Barnum Bob to take this. And played in. Lee Togwell reads it well. Clears the ball. Giles with the ball forward, smashed clear by George Wells, straight out of place. Now management just ducked to let the ball run all the way down the running track here. And it's Swain that's going to leave the throw for Barnum Bob. He's been told to go back a couple of yards. Again, takes this throw. Easily headed away though by Simon Dunn. Bounces in towards Giles, just overruns it. So put money people on it. Now the ball's here with Matty Stevens. Now Warren Harris down the right hand side. Stevens with the ball. Stevens still running. I'm Susie with a challenge, but Jackman comes across here on the overlap, and Jackman coming down the right hand side up here against Rate. Jackman trying to play. Oh, he turns him easy. Comes down the line. Can't keep it in. It's out of play. That was good play though by Josh Jackman. Just turned his man, but it's that little bit of the pitch has just got a little bit of bare ground on it, and we'll say that was what made the ball run out of play. But Slough much better this second half, and it's McDonald to take this goal kick here. Aims Long here towards Murphy. Slough let the ball chance. Comes forward to Fenwick who shoots. It's well wide of the goal though. And it's 1-0 here to Slough. And it's 1-0 to the Rebels here this afternoon. And it's going to be Jack Turner to take his time on this goal kick. And Turner, long kick down the field here, aimed towards Chris Flood, headed away by Amasusi. Lee Togwell can't get there, it's taken by Murphy, heavy touch by him, allows Wells to put this one up in the air. Warren Harris does well, flicks the ball on to find Flood. Flood just controls the ball, skips past two, lovely bit of skill, in towards Stevens, just sold him short, cleared by Amasusi. Nisbet wins the header, in towards Lee Togwell. Back out here towards George Wells. Wells chipping the ball in again, looking for Flood. Flood made a difference since he's come on. Warren Harris will try and keep this ball in. It's come off the head of a Chelmsford player. It's a throw to the Rebels down this near hand side. And Slough will take their time with this throw. They lead here 1-0. Josh Jackman, the right back, come to take this throw. He's going to look for a bit of movement here. Comes from Warren Harris. Harris holds the ball, but just as it taken off him by Rate, who clears down the line, but that's gone straight out of play. And the linesman signalling it is going to be quite way down this field for the throw to come in. And Slough just been rejuvenated since Chris Flood have come on the field. He's seemed to have formed a good formation partnership with Matt Stevens. But Jackman will take this throw here for Slough. And Jackman played it in towards Flood. Does well to shield the ball well. Just comes off his foot last. Good afternoon to Tosh Sharma, who's listening in as well. Slough win the ball back from the headers. Kept in by Giles. Played in. Scott Davis done there? He's played that one back. Mark Nisbet has to come across with the header. Dunn flicks the header on, only as far as Rate. Rate chips the ball down the line here for Murphy to come on to, but Sam Togwell's there. Hooks the ball off onto the running track. And it's a throw here to Chelmsford. The Slough fans trying to get behind their side as they encourage them to keep playing football. We're into the final 15 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. You're going to see a substitution on the far hand side. What is that, 18? We're not sure what's going on. I think it's Whelpdale player coming off. Is Jonathan Giles is coming on for Chris Whelpdale on 75 minutes. So Giles on. So we've got Giles and Miles playing now. It's right to take this throw for Chelmsford City on this far side, halfway inside the Slough half. They're just going to wait for Giles to get into position. And right to take this throw in towards Murphy. Murphy takes it on his chest. Spread across here to Omasusi. He's got time to find Barn and Bob on the right hand side. Immediately closed down by two players. Foul there by George Wells. And Wells could get a... Surprised that Wells doesn't get a yellow card for that change. A little bit late. But it's a free kick to Chelmsford. It's a couple of yards away from the sideline, but about 10 yards away from... maybe 20 yards away from the goal, actually. And it's going to be Taylor Miles to take this free kick for Chelmsford. Slough with some defending to do here. So it's Miles with this free kick. One man rule for the Rebels of Simon Dunn. And the ball played in well. Towers well punched clear by Jack Turner. It will come back out towards Miles, who controls it well. Down on that right hand side. Turns away in towards Giles. Giles plays it in. Touch off Warren Harris. And Slough can break here with George Wells. Tries to find Maddie Stevens. Intercepted by Barn and Bob. But Slough win the ball back with Stevens. But only as far as Swain. Swain turns away from a challenge. In here towards Fenwick. Fenwick 40 yards away from goal. Running down the left hand side. In towards Miles. Miles comes back inside. On the far side he's got Barn and Bob on the overlap. His cross is good. It's a bit too deep. Headed away though by... I thought that came off Mark Nisbet last, but according to the referee, that is a goal kick. And I think that Mark Nisbet has actually collided with the boards behind the goal. So whether he's given a free kick there, I'm not sure, but Martin Nisbet's back to his feet. And it'll be, I think it is a free kick that the referee has given. And the referee just signalling that he's adding the time on. In fact, it's given a goal kick. So we'll get this right in a minute. One of us will. So it's a goal kick here to the Rebels. They lead 1-0. That goal from Chris Flood on 70 minutes. The attendance today is 754. Flood flicks the header on, only as far as Omazusi. He has time to bring the ball out. Slough quite willing to let him have the ball. Finds Barnum Bob on the right hand side. Barnum Bob getting more into the game now that Dobson's come off the field. Ball down the field. That's going to run all the way out for a goal kick. And Turner will take his time to get that. In fact, the ball boy is going to cross to get the ball for him. So the ball here with... good afternoon to Gary Thomas, who's listening. Gary Thomas, his son Stephen. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Stephen. And apparently there's a new goal tweet. I haven't seen it yet because I've not been on Twitter, but there's a new goal tweet for you there. And you can have a look at that. Turner, long kick down the field. Flood again wins the flick on towards Stevens. Stevens just gets trodden on behind. Ball back here with Anderson towards the goalkeeper McDonald. He's got plenty of time with the ball. Plays it out here, looking for Rate on the far hand side. Over the head of both him and Jackman. Jackman will just let the ball run out of play. And out of play. Just give me 2 seconds. It's going to be a throw here for Sam Togwell to take. Trying to get some distance on this throw. Looking again for Chris Flood. Flid and Anderson comes off Anderson last. So another throw to the Rebels. Now getting further away from their goal, which is what they're after. And it's going to be Josh Jackman that will take this throw for Slough. Just been told where to take it. And Jackman with this throw. Going to aim it again towards Flood. Flood does well to flick it on, but the referee says it's a foul. And it's a free kick here to Chelmsford City. McDonald, the goalkeeper, will take. We've got around 10.5 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. He's going to add on some for a bit of time wasting by Slough. McDonald with that long ball down the field. It's headed by Fenwick into the centre. Murphy tries to get there, but it's smashed clear by George Wells. Ball just goes out of play. A throw to Chelmsford City. Anderson will come across to take this for the hosts. Quick throw in here towards Miles. Here towards Swain. Being closed down by Scott Davis. Back in towards Anderson. Anderson gets the ball trapped in his feet. Davis with a late challenge on Swain. And Davis will get a yellow card for that challenge. Second Slough player to go into the book. And Davis goes in on 80 minutes for a yellow card. For a foul on Swain. And Swain will get to his feet. It's a free kick. And I think the two of them will know each other. It's a free kick. Davis just runs back now into a defensive position along with Chris Flood. And it'll be Anderson to take this free kick. Couple of feet inside the Chelmsford half. Played forwards here. And headed on by Fenwick. Headed away by Sam Togwell. It's out for a throw, which Giles looks like he's going to leave it for Rate to take. So it looks like a longer throw going to come into the box. Giles making a bit of movement near him. But Rate with this throw. It's flicked on into the centre, bouncing around, looking for Chelmsford looking for a penalty. Ball comes out here and it's Miles with a shot. It's straight at the goalkeeper though, and it's easily taken down by Jack Turner in the Slough goal. Just having a bit of banter with the Chelmsford fans behind the goal. We're into the final 8.5 minutes here. Turner just drops the ball on the edge of his area, then plays it long here, looking for Chris Flood. Flood just turns past Barnum Bob well, brings the ball out here and finds Simon Dunn down the left hand side. Dunn crosses first time. It's behind everybody, and that will roll out of play for a throw to Chelmsford. And it's going to be the left back Anderson to come across to take this throw. Plays it here towards Swain. Swain goes across the back four to Omasusi. Omasusi can bring the ball out. Slough, because he's given the ball away to Lee Togwell. Here towards Chris Flood. Flood plays the ball forwards to Stevens. Stevens tries to get past Swain, but Swain does well to block the header. But Anderson takes his time on the ball, plays it in. That's a good ball in towards Murphy. Murphy just holds the ball up 10 yards inside the Slough half. Holds the ball up, plays it in. Touches the top of Togwell, but finds Barn and Bob on the right hand side. Bob just trying to go around the outside of Dunn. Dunn gets a touch to it, but Bob still has the ball on the far side, being forced backwards here towards Omasusi. Inside the Slough half, finds Miles. Miles with a little ball in. Sam Togwell with the defensive clearance. Comes up towards Scott Davis. Here with Swain. Swain plays it back here towards the goalkeeper. Matt Stevens will just wait for him to have the ball. Back in here towards Taylor Miles. Miles inside the centre circle, trying to orchestrate something here for Chelmsford. Out towards Omasusi. Back inside towards Swain. Swain still holding the ball out into the left back Anderson. Heavy touch by him, but keeps hold of the ball. Back in here towards Giles. Back for Anderson. Slough with numbers behind the ball here. Here with Swain inside his own half. Back in towards Omasusi. Played out on the far hand side towards Barn and Bob. He's got a bit of space to put a cross in. It's not the best cross, but headed away by Sam Togwell. Volley comes in straight at the goalkeeper Turner, and it's easily saved by the Slough goalkeeper. And he's just taking his time with this thing. We've got around 6.5 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on this afternoon. And it's a long kick here by Turner, trying to find Flood. Oh, bounces through, and the goalkeeper just gets there before Stevens, and he rolls the ball out here for Anderson. Anderson bringing the ball forwards with him. Plays it out here towards Rate. Rate's back in towards Anderson, just inside his own half. He's going to go all the way back towards the goalkeeper McDonald. Now with the numbers behind the ball here at the moment, just forcing Chelmsford back. Ball still here with McDonald. That's where Slough will want the ball. Played forwards on the far hand side. It's been flicked on. It will come through to Nisbet, who hooks the ball well. Taylor Miles heads it up in the air, then chests it down, and Matt Stevens tries to get his body in the way. Ball's here with Murphy, chipping it in, hits Sam Togwell. They're appealing for something at Chelmsford. The ball comes through to Anderson. His header goes in. Simon Dunn heads it on, trying to find Flood. Flood trying to hold the ball up. Well, Masusi takes it off him, but it's run back on the far hand side with Chelmsford, and the tackles are flying in. The referee just letting it go. Here with Giles. Giles hits it straight at Lee Togwell. Slough with a chance to get there with Matty Stevens. Giles does well to win the ball back for Chelmsford. In towards Anderson. Back here towards Swain. Swain leaves it for Church. Church inside the centre circle. Spreads back out towards Anderson. Omasusi with the ball here for Chelmsford, just inside the Slough half. Plays it in towards Giles. Giles being watched by Lee Togwell. Ball played back here. And Chelmsford going backwards rather than forwards. In towards Omasusi. You can turn. There's plenty of time on the ball. Plays it in. Flicked on there. And it's gone all the way there through and out for a goal kick. And Jack Turner will take his time with that one there. Cracking game going on down at Farnborough. Farnborough 4, Weymouth 3. And you're going to see a substitution for Slough. Coming off is Matty Stevens. And coming on is Perry Coles. That substitution on 86. So Matt Stevens on his debut comes off, and coming on is Perry Coles. So we've entered the last 5 minutes of normal time. Just keeping our eye on that scoreboard on the far hand side, just to see how many minutes the referee will add on. But Perry Coles, it's not Perry Coles, actually Sean Fraser. I've just realised they look alike. But there you go. So it's Sean Fraser, my apologies, that's come on 86 minutes. And it's Warren Harris who heads that kick on from Turner, and he goes straight through to McDonald in the goal. Rolls the ball out here towards Omasusi. Slough quite happy to let Omasusi have the ball here. He's inside his own half. Spreads it now back out on the far hand side towards Church. Down the line to Barn and Bob. Got Simon Dunn in front of him. In towards Giles. Giles trying to slow it down. Gets blocked by Wells, and it's back in towards Swain, and then here towards Miles. Miles plays it down the right hand side. Lee Togwell lets the ball run over his head. He'll chase it with Barn and Bob, but it comes off Togwell last. It's a corner to Chelmsford. And Slough with some defending to do here. 42 minutes of the second half gone. It's going to be Taylor Miles who goes across to take this corner. Slough with just Chris Flood up forward. And the ball been played in with a bit of pace. Bouncing around in the box. This header goal was off the line. And then Jack Turner punches it out. It's out for another corner. And couldn't see who kicked it off the line, but Slough keep it out, and it's another corner which Miles will take. And Slough just hanging on now late in this second half. Hit again with some pace, bound through over the head of everyone, and it comes off the head of Rate last. It must have touch off a Slough play because it's come out for a throw. And it's Church who's going to take the throw in towards Giles. Giles held up by Dunn. Giles trying to turn and trick his way down this near hand side. Fraser's come across. The cross has come in. It's been smashed clear by Scott Davies. And out of play for a throw. So Slough hanging on desperately there. 2 minutes of normal time plus whatever the referee adds on. No sign of added time on the board yet. It's going to be a throw to come in for Chelmsford City. Right by the corner flag. Rate with the throw. Into the box. It's fixed away. It's going to be headed away by Slough. And Turner gets there first and gets a little nudge. But Turner will just get back up in a second. Just got caught there as he claimed the ball, but good claim there by the Slough Town goalkeeper. Just having a bit of fun with the Chelmsford fans behind the goal. But the ball's in the hands of the goalkeeper Turner. He just drops the ball. Murphy's almost turns and gets to the ball. Ball played in, looking for Chris Flood. Flood does well to win the bet. No one up though because they've taken off Stevens. So Flood's got to chase his own header here with Swain. Swain back across towards Barnum Bob. Chelmsford in their own half. That's where Slough want them to be. Barnum Bob plays it out on the far hand side here towards Giles. Comes off Giles last. And it's a throw to Slough. Slough on the verge. They're 1-0 up here. We're into the final minute of normal time. And it's all about the referee here. How much is he going to add on? Slough with the throw down the line here. Looking for Flood. Flood's doing really well to hold the ball up. Plays it in. Just overhits it. And it's cleared there by Taylor Miles. Nisbet chasing the ball back towards his own goal. And it comes off. It's another corner to Chelmsford. Comes off Nisbet last. And again it's Taylor Miles who goes across to take it on. Masusi's going forwards for this one. Slough with some defending to do. Everyone back apart from Chris Flood for the Rebels. Played in. It's hit a goal. Oh, it's all the way across the goal. And I can't see who it was with the header. He's just going to get up in a second. And a low diving header all the way across the face of the goal. No one got a touch on it. It goes out of play for a goal kick here. And Slough are still in this game. They're 1-0 up here. Can they get their first ever league victory against Chelmsford City? Their first ever point against Chelmsford City in a league game. Turner, long kick down the field. Look here for Flood. Comes off Flood's chest. Broken here to Fraser. Fraser does well to try and come down this near hand side. Pressurising here towards Anderson. Anderson under pressure from Flood. Flood gets a touch too. Anderson goes across his own goal mouth to find Barnum Bob. So Barnum Bob? Barnum Bob. He has the ball. Plays it out on the far hand side. Swain has gone forwards. Heads the ball on. But that goes all the way through to Jack Turner, who theatrically dives on the floor. And we're into stoppage time. We've already had a minute of stoppage time. And Jack Turner to take this kick. Long kick down the field. It's going to come all the way through to McDonald's. There's 4 minutes of added time. We've had a minute of it already. Slough still holding on here with this 1-goal victory. Ball played forward by McDonald. Swain's gone forward. Swain up there as well, trying to knock the ball on. Lee Togwell clears it out here towards George Wells. Wells just smashes that ball straight down the field. Oh, great control by the ball boy. Lovely touch. It's Barnum Rubb with the throw. In here towards the goalkeeper, McDonald. McDonald has the ball, cleans it long down the field. Again, aimed towards Swain. Nisbet wins the header for Slough. Fraser tries to get there, comes back out towards Swain, who flicks it on. But Warren Harris will see that ball out because it will be a throw to the Rebels, and he will take his time in running to get the ball. We've played a minute of 47 seconds of the added time. And Davis just being told to hurry up by the referee to go and take this throw. And it's Scott Davis to take this throw. It almost went back towards his goalkeeper. He's going to throw it long again towards Chris Flood. Flood holds the ball up in towards Sean Fraser. Played it over the head. Anderson heads it in the corner flag. Tries to hook the ball away. Comes off Warren Harris. In towards Taylor Miles. It's going to be a throw to the Rebels though. Again, they're going to take their time with it. Josh Jackman will be the player to take the throw. And it's the Slough fans who are making the noise behind the goal, trying to encourage their team. Not long to go. In towards Warren Harris. Flicks the header on. Headed away. It's a foul by Chris Flood. Means a free kick to Chelmsford City. Deep in their own half. I reckon we've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds left. And it's McDonald to take this free kick. Well, he's hit that one. Skied it the wrong way. Barnum Bob's underneath. Oh, it's actually Simon Dunn with a header. And now Slough on the counter attack with Chris Flood. He's going to run it into the corner though. Flood will go into the corner and hold that ball up. Barnum Bob comes off and he wins a corner. It's a corner to the Rebels. Played by Chris Flood. Score of the only goal of the game so far. And Slough will not take. Slough are going to take their time with this corner. It's going to be Simon Dunn who goes across to take it. All eyes on the referee, Mr. Richardson. And Slough with the corner. Chris Flood will come short to hold the ball up in that corner flag. Slough have lost the ball already. Breaks here towards Barnum Bob. Takes a touch. Clears it down the line. It's flicked on by Swain. Sam Togwell with the header away for Slough. Scott Davis trying to get there. It's won back by Warren Harris on his 200th game. Lovely play by him. Just gets tackled. Scott Davis brings it forwards for Slough. Goalkeeper's off his line if he can see him. Plays it out on the far inside. Flood's onside. He's going to go back to the corner flag again. And he's just going to hold it up. That is 4 minutes of added time up. It is the final whistle. It's finished. Chelmsford 0, Slough Town 1, and someone call the cops because Slough committed daylight robbery. They've come here. They've been under the cosh for the first half. Chelmsford 10 shots in the entire game. Slough have had 4, but I tell you what, of the 4, 1 is the goal that gives them the victory here this afternoon. And the Slough fans behind that goal are going to celebrate with the players who walk their way over. Defensively, Slough have been absolutely fantastically solid. Second half, they got more into the game as the game wore on and were actually creating the better the chances. Credit's got to go to Jack Turner in the Slough goal, who made an absolute stunning save in the first half and then made 2 really good saves in the second half. Made some more further saves. Jack Turner had a fantastic game for the Rebels. That shows you how dominant it was for Slough. Slough actually had 3 shots on target in the entire game, and they've scored from one of them. It's Chelmsford City 0, Slough Town 1. Their first ever league goal against the Clarets. Their first ever league victory against the Clarets. And oh my word, that is going to be a journey home on the coach this afternoon. The Slough fans just clapping every single one of their players off as they walk past them. The Chelmsford players being held back in the centre circle, but the Slough fans are the ones that are celebrating. Goal coming from Chris Flood on 70 minutes separates the two sides here, and Slough with a fantastic second half performance, much better than the first, and that goal gives them a win against one of the title favourites from the National League South. It's Slough's supporters coach that'll be buzzing on the way home. So we're finishing up here today. Huge thanks to our friends here at Chelmsford City for their hospitality. We've got to catch the coach to get home. If my missus is still listening, I'll be back to see you in a bit, babe. Don't worry. Great game for the Rebels. They've been under the cosh. We will be back next Saturday, where we will be at home to Oxford City. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank everyone who's been listening on. Dominic Ashford, Tosh Sharma, David Randall, Gary Thomas, Neil Humphrey, Paul Hazel, Miles Reardon. Thank you all for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. So now I've got 3 points. We will be back next Saturday, and until then, thank you very much, and have a good time. Thank you.